I think if we see a Layla being picked up, we can get full confirmation that Coach Ed is at the helm. But for now, we go straight into the banning phase of the regular season, Season 10, by the Samsung Galaxy A series, and Fanny is no longer going to show up.
So far in all the 3 games that we have seen in the first series, it's always been Fanny banned out every single time in the first phase. So Valentina will follow here for the side of Bigetron Alpha. Rebellion trying to respond once again. Akai has been very, very prioritized. Eve as well. But will we see that happen here again? I think Fairness will be the ban coming in from Rebellion next.
We'll have to wait and see here. Yes, Rebellion, they like to play that Akai, especially Fearless is going to be in that jungler position. But it seems like this far, at this point, it's just prio bans, right? Fanny, of course, and as well as Valentina in Rebellion. As their first pick, they have the edge to somehow control the pace here. But it will be finally Julian. So even though they are first pick, it seems like Julian is not their approach.
I wonder if we'll get to see the Thamus as well as, you know, maybe one of those beefier heroes like the Uranus maybe. So we'll have to see, man. I think there's several options that Bigetron has right now. If they want to go for the late game, they have to ban out some of the earlier playmaking tools that Rebellion can try and use, right? So assassins perhaps, or engage heroes like the Franco. That is still absolutely a signature hero that can be used by all these high-level, MPL-level roamers, right? And we've seen it put to good use in the first match.
Yeah, well, okay. In the first match, Franco has a good win rate there. Seems like Ling and Ben, I don't know about this one. Is Bigetron trying to open up heroes, or are they really afraid of Ling? I feel like Ling, especially after the patch, is such a squishy hero.
He did get nerfed. His base HP was nerfed quite a bit there. So he is going to be very, very squishy, especially for that early game. But the thing is, it's all going to be dependent on the player, right? If it's still on Albert, if it's perhaps on Fearless, it could be a menace. So they are just going to go with a route of, you know what, let's not test it. Let's not test it. Let's just ban it straight away. We know how much Ling creates problems here against our composition. But Fairness here for Rebellion. So Rebellion might actually be going for a pick style composition, right?
Right.
Banning out that Fairness, they want to just take out that team fight hero out of the game for Bigetron Alpha. And knowing Bigetron Alpha, they actually really like playing those style of compositions, the somewhat Ube style of compositions.
I mean, technically, there are twins there in that team. Plus, Key is a very, very reliable roamer here as of today. So, yeah, I guess Rebellion, they are looking for more of a pick-off composition. But then again, I want to say my 2 cents here. I feel like in this current patch, it's more of a team fighty composition.
Well, we'll have to see, man. 1-1 will be the final ban from the side of Bigetron. So we saw how Kadera was able to actually perform really well, have a lot of different options, right? Crossbow of Tang is a huge outplay tool. The maneuverability, you can go aggressive in lane or passive, depending on how the lane is supposed to go. So it's taken away from the hands of potentially one of the members of Rebellion, obviously, from Highs right now, right? So the first pick, though, this will show exactly what they want to do. Will it be someone tanky? Will it be someone squishy, right? I think depending on what both teams want to go for, it is going to be the Masha.
Yeah, this also has been banned 3 games in a row in the first series. So we're seeing something different already. Masha left out, instantly picked up. Bigetron Alpha can respond with a Thamus and perhaps an Akai pick for themselves. This is another solid 2 picks. They can also even go for the Beatrix, a hero that has been prioritized in the first phase multiple times in MPL Season 10 so far.
I do see your point here. Thamus and as well as Akai is very prio, but that just invites Rebellion to go on pick up the carry. One hero here can just deny or, you know, trying to eliminate the potential from Thamus and as well as Akai. But there you go. Bigetron, they will not go for that route. They are more confident, and they will commit to the Eve and as well as Beatrix. Now, looking at this, but just based on this 2 hero, they can still go either 2 more team fight or pick off.
True. I mean, there's a lot of burst, there's a lot of crowd control as well. Bigetron has shown that they want a relatively squishy backline. So the response from Rebellion will be the Akai as well as that Claude, man. So if Rebellion can get on top of Bigetron, they're in big trouble. And with that being the case, Bigetron, they need to acquire some kind of crowd control to stop the aggression. Because if Rebellion is led to just rush over them or behind them, it is over, man. With a Beatrix, and you can't brawl it out like that.
Well, they're going to have to get a solid frontliner now, though. They already have very squishy backlines. Honestly, Yves Beatrix so vulnerable for that Masha to just pick off, especially the Claude to follow up with the Blazing Duet. So Bigetron Alpha needs a disengage tool in their composition. They go for just a frontliner first. Esmeralda obviously still sitting at a 50% win rate.
Yeah, still sitting at a first 50% win rate, but again, I still like Esmeralda as an XP laner here. Of course, it will be played by Chorizo later on. But the question is, what will they ban out here in the second phase? Because remember, Masha can actually be flexed. Val also can play that Masha, but of course, Dyron is... Of course, Masha is heavily leaning towards the XP lane. But if Bigetron does not believe that they can go for a Dyroth ban here.
Well, if they want to go for a Dyroth ban, that is okay, right? It is a great counter towards the Esmeralda. So it depends on what they want to go for. Bigetron has banned out the Dyroth, so the Esmeralda will have an easier laning phase, although other options still exist for Rebellion. That might not be enough as far as bans go, but it is a step that shows that they want to play heavily towards the XP side.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you pick up an Esmeralda, you're kind of forced to ban out the Dyroth as well. If you want that Esmeralda to be able to just roam around the map, enable the other members on the team to perform, then you got to ban the Dyroth. The Dyroth just basically pins down that Esmeralda into that lane, forcing her to just stay under the turret. And, speaking of frontliners, let's talk a little bit about Key here, because he commented on being coached by Starless, right? He's saying that being coached by Starless is kind of fun because usually he's just the CEO. He's our boss, He's usually our boss, but now as a coach, he has a lot of insight to the team. So he's giving a lot of insight towards the team. He's getting a lot of information. Starless, pretty interesting.
Oh, he was a player. So yeah,
True.
He was a player. So perhaps we have to see here. Will that outcome? This is the testament, right? Coach Ed, first game. What will be the outcome? Now, Bigetron will definitely opt for a Savior ban here in the last phase. I kind of like it. Kind of sus.
Kind of sus. All right. I mean, for Bigetron, they're banning out the potential backline as well in that Savior. So there's a chance they want to go for something aggressive of their own. The Immobilize, right? The snare coming in from Savior's skills will be quite annoying. But for Rebellion, they ban out the Selena. It is a hero that Key is quite fearsome on, kind of. So they play it kind of safe, and we shall now see the first pick in the second phase.
Well, let's talk about it. Moreno stepping in from the MDL to the MPL, stepping up here on the stage. How is he going to perform? What hero is he going to play? Well, that's already been answered. Yves. The thing is now, what are we going to see in the jungle? Or perhaps the roam position. This is scary. Atlas picked up. Even the Rebellion can still flex the Akai, flex the Masha, and pick up a Diggy right here to cancel out any sort of engage that the Atlas can provide in this match.
That's the thing, right? I mean, Rebellion, if they can, pick up this Diggy, this Atlas will be a non-factor in this game. So perhaps Bigetron, they are taking the gamble here. Sure, once again, Bigetron, they are going for the teamfight composition. We'll have to see Rebellion, what will they respond with. They should pick up a good, solid mid laner. I don't know. I'm seeing Lilia here for side of Rebellion.
I'm just saying, Arashi, they can play Diggy mid.
Absolutely. That is a valid option, but they opt for the Cecilion and the Lancelot. We haven't seen it a lot, and I think we had this discussion, right? It's a very solid hero in the right hands.
Yeah, first time Lancelot here for for MPL Season 10 here, and it will fall to the hands of Rebellion here. Fearless. History-wise, yeah, Season 9, he played a lot of Lancelots here. A lot of good, I could say, moderate performance as well. But we'll see here. Will he progress this season or will not? So Bigetron last pick, definitely pick up a burst hero. They are lacking in that department, and Karina is going to be the answer.
They pick up the Karina here to secure also more neutral objectives using that early game dominance that the Esmeralda and the Atlas with the Yi provides in the game to secure more of that map control. But again, if we take a look at both of the drafts, this is going to be a question for us, right? But ladies and gentlemen, look at this. The fans are on the side of Coach Ed. Coach Bujet will definitely help the team get a lot of trophies is basically it. But for us, I personally went for Bigetron Alpha. You guys went for Rebellion, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm caught between a Rebellion sandwich here, but it seems like the audience agrees with Mirko. Presented to you by TikTok. You guys are smart.
Well, just for this Land of Dawn, I feel like this match will fall to the Blues. We'll have to see here as we jump into the border for game number 1 between Rebellion, Zion, and as well as Bigetron.
Well, this is a different, this is two kind of different Bigetrons against Rebellions, right? So the composition is different, so we have to see how it plays out in the Land of Dawn.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to jump into the Land of Dawn for game number 1 of match number 2 here of day 1. Bigetron Alpha, again, just playing it standardly right now. They're just going for the really, really, slow early stage.
Of course, here we are seeing both junglers. They are just farming first here. They will go for the battle of Lethal Wanderer here. It seems like Max is in the area first, and with that retribution, will pick up that Lethal rather easily.
Ooh, we can hear a bit of Bigetron chants here. As we can see, Rebellion Zion, they have 4 sprints. Is this a mistake?
Well,
whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's actually Key who goes in, but it's going to be Bigetron Alpha who picks up the first initial Lethal Wanderer. 4 sprints though, Rashi.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? 4 sprint. I know that sprint is currently kind of broken, right? Everyone takes sprint, but 4 sprints?
4 sprints, man. They can either run really fast or they can engage with decisive fashion. So there's a chance this might just work out. Is it going to be the all-new sprint meta? We'll just have to see. The Fearless for sure still has that retribution for the neutral objectives, but I think so far they're just playing it pretty standardly.
Indeed. I mean, it's a 2v1 bot side here. Claude needs to be careful, but it seems like Key realizing that in 10 seconds the first turtle will be up. He rotates around that, and you can see here the zoning from side of Matt and as well as Sorizo. Oh, 2v1 here. Max awkward positioning. He immediately retreats as turtle spawns.
Exactly, man. The turtle is now spawning, and Bigetron has a bit of control, although the lane dominance is still being contested in the top side. As Suelo just dukes it against Sorizo, and the turtle is going to be reset, and this will make or break the game, man. It's level 4 for everybody. Ultimates are available, and the gold laners won't be there. If you think about it logically, I think Bigetron has a bit more advantage because they do have better engaged per se, but that never really it doesn't always play out like that.
Well, they're zoning Fearless away. Fearless still has a retribution, but it's going to be Max who picks it up. Sorizo getting pinged down, but he is a very tanky Esmeralda. That is the Samsung Turtle taken down, though, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I want to mention this. This is a very interesting topic. Sicilian just got nerfed. With the nerf, you can actually already see how much impact it has because Suelo hasn't been able to clear the waves in any lane as fast as any other hero on the side of BTR.
Yeah, that Sicilian pick, man. I don't really know about it. But then again, if this game goes to the late game, super late game, 25, 30 minutes, that Sicilian will give a lot of damage still. Max here trying to engage. Fearless keeping the distance. As of right now, it is still a Bigetron Alpha, just by a slither of gold, leading the economy.
Yeah, Bigetron Alpha going for the aggressive play there, but it won't actually land them anything just yet. The gold advantage is slightly towards the side of Bigetron, and despite having a bit more advantage in the early game, right? Having a strong assassin, having a strong engage, and having dominant lanes with good clear, they haven't been able to leverage that advantage, that pressure, into anything in the opposing team's jungle. They can use this opportunity to try and shut down Fearless, but they're not doing it just yet.
Well, let's see. Bigetron Alpha once again in that mid lane. They're trying to set up for the next objective, but there's just no leeway that Rebellion is giving up. They're just opening up the map and playing it really, really smart, intelligently. But they are roaming onto the top side. Sorizo gonna have to dive under the turret to escape the falling star move defensively, but Sorizo will fall to the hands of Suelo. First blood picked up.
That is the first blood picked up for sure. And looking at the emblems, it does seem like the Demon Slayer emblem is still the main go-to. It doesn't matter if you're playing a tank, it doesn't matter if you're playing a fighter or an assassin. You go for this emblem, and then you try and farm up the storm and secure those retributions. But right now, Rebellion with that advantage will be pushing the tempo quite a bit towards the side of Bigetron Alpha.
First blood here, minute number 3. Not too long, not too short as well. Now, second turtle is up here. Bigetron and Rebellion, they are not rotating towards that area. Val giving information, also providing the whereabouts here. Max trying to somehow catch the turtle himself. Meanwhile, Fearless still on the backside here, just farming. Turtle is resetted, and now it seems like Rebellion, they are looking for a fight, but remember, Key is in the area, and Fatalings is up. Also, the Flicker, they need to be careful if they want to fight.
It's going to come down to who uses which first, but Val going to be able to pick up Moreno. The real-world inflation was used defensively. Fearless finds the turtle right there, presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A series, and again, the early game goes to the hands of Rebellion and Zion, who are able to make these little decisions that end up being so massive.
Bot side, a good mirror there by the side of Mats. He realizes that, yeah, Moreno is down. He will, though, take the full gold shield turret bot side. Take a look at the items here.
Yeah, the bottom turret is already in half HP, and looking at the items, the Demon Hunter Sword is completed. 4 highs on that Claude. He just has to wait on that Golden Staff, but he will go for a bit more defensive stats, knowing that the members of Bigetron Alpha, there's a lot of chance that they can just dive into the backline. But the good mix of magical damage as well as physical damage from Bigetron makes it quite difficult for anyone from the side of Rebellion to just itemize easily.
Indeed, at this point here, we can see here 2v2 potentially as Akai is somehow flanking from the other side, but then again, with Key's information, both of them just decides to retreat. As of right now, not much action. The Key with a flicker fatally connects, and real world revelation is there as Max executes a member. But take a look at the backside. Masha comes in, takes down Marino. Dyron is looking for more here as they are finally equalizing here in the mid side.
Well, Max again, he's not really able to find anything else. Both mid laners were taken down, but again, Sway Low still ahead. Phantom Execution to the backside once again as Fearless tries to dish out some damage onto Max. That is still actually a tank Karina here, Aranti. So it's not the damage Karina that we've all come to expect nowadays from Karinas, but up top, Tariza winning lane, but Dyron's still able to survive.
If it's a tank Karina, it's a different look compared to Hans in match number 1. But Dyron here will be jumped on by Max yet again. So we'll have to see Bigetron. They seem to try and out-sustain the damage coming from Rebellion, but it won't be enough, man. Moreno has already been picked up twice, but later on, if he does have defensive items that he can build on the Yi, he will be able to actually play a bit more aggressively.
Last Samsung turtle is up here, ladies and gentlemen, and seems like Fearless is already in that area. Meanwhile, Karina is still rotating here. Can Fearless take this turtle in time? Seems like 4 members already. Heavy spin, the Fatalings connect, and of course, real world relation is there, cancelled immediately. But yeah, the last turtle will go to the hands of Rebellion. Seems like Bigetron, they don't have enough resources to go for a fight. Oh, never mind. Rebellion with that blazing duets, claiming a member in the back side, and Max will also fall. Rebellion looking to pick up the momentum here in minute number 7.
Wow, that was a lot of time bought by Rebellion Zion, and once we thought it was over, Heist comes in and just cleans up the house, mows down everyone with the blazing duet, but he will be caught in the 1v1.
Ooh, Heist, oh my god, almost just gets one-shotted there by the Wesker shot. Fearless, once again, looking for something here, but that's what Beatrix can do in these games. You need to be very careful of every single bush. But, fun fact presented to you by Grab here, Karina is one of the only heroes that Max has 100% win rate on back in Season 9. He picked it twice though, so it's a very low count in terms of the picks, but he's still at 100%. He's trying to just keep that at 100% with this match.
It still counts absolutely, man. It just shows that he understands the hero. So he is doing pretty okay right here, but of course, we talked again about how strong Rebellion Zion can be in the late game, and Bigetron Alpha, they need to try and push the tempo quite a bit more, man. They can't just wait for things to happen. They have been able to actually secure great picks using Key and the Atlas, but this, I feel like they need to do more to make sure that Rebellion Zion doesn't have a chance of making a comeback.
That's the thing, right? I mean, Bigetron Alpha with Atlas, with Esmeralda, Yves especially, I expect more team fights. I expect more pressure from the side of Bigetron Alpha. Remember, they are down economy, but it's just only 1.5K, so it's not that much. I expect more proactiveness here. Perhaps this is the moment, but it seems like, again, hesitation comes for side of Bigetron.
Well, it's not as simple as it looks, right? For Key, he needs to make it unexpected because there's so many sprints on set of Rebellion Zion. They can just kite away just like that. And look at the trap set up by Rebellion Zion. Just wait in the bushes, play around with the vision, knowing that Bigetron, they won't do anything too unpredictable or too sneaky. But they now have exchanged that potential for the control in the Lord side.
Speaking of sneaky, this is it. Fatal late by Key from the bush. He's able to find Fearless, but look at Fearless with fast hands getting out with a puncture now. Dyron jumping to that back line. Morendo still able to position himself, but Val comes into play, bringing Key back all the way to sway low and high. Now Max pinned down. The Lord taken down to a quarter of his HP. Bigetron Alpha looking for the retribution, looking for the play. Fearless comes in, but it's Max who picks it up. Now Highs on the backside, using the blazing duet to dish out the damage, getting out, but Matt's there to gun him down. A double kill picked up by Matt as Max is wreaking havoc as well. With the tank, Arena is dealing so much, and guess who's there to pick up the scrap? Matt with the brilliant shot to secure a triple kill, as that's also Sway Low taken down in the back.
Oh, a good setup by Matt. Very good positioning and timing, and he got the triple. Now, Bigetron Alpha, they look for that comeback. They have secured the mid side, and take a look at the items here. Beatrix already with Heptases and as well as BOD. What do you think about this, Arashi?
Well, more importantly, he has the Wind of Nature as well. So it's going to be very difficult for all these physical damage threats to actually make for them to actually pressure Matt away from the fight. He can just stay in the front, no problem at all. And now with the team, they're just trying to get as much objectives as possible. They have full control here off the back of Key and the threat of his insane playmaking.
I mean, Matt, with that Blade of SCs, I mean, signaling that he wants to play Sniper mostly. So we'll have to see here. I mean, his Snipes has been good, 3-0-0 with that triple, of course. And it seems like now, Bigetron Alpha, they are on the lead here, 2,000 gold lead.
I honestly don't think that Fearless's emblem really works here. You know, I was going with it. I was optimistic about it. Sure, the jungle emblem, Demon Slayer emblem has been coming back in the meta, but on the Lancelot, I feel like you just need that killing spree, getting more sustained when you do get those eliminations.
Perhaps, man, we did see that Fearless, he was struggling to just sustain enough from the jungle to try and participate in the contest for the Lord. But he just comes in a bit too late, and it gets taken away from him. Now, we now take a look at the player's gold by UBS gold, and Matt is on top, and High is following very closely behind him, but Max is on third. So the twins, as Goni was talking about, they're still very much the tip of the spear for the team, which is Bigetron Alpha.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it seems like here, Rashin as well as Mirko, yeah, Fearless has yet to have an impact. I mean, immediately, he's so aggressive. He's building aggressively here. War Axe, Endless Battle immediately with BOD, even though they are behind. But yeah, no impact whatsoever data-wise.
Well, it's very difficult, man. Who is he supposed to target, right? Because there's a tank arena, there is a Yib with a Winter Truncheon, and there is also a Matt on that Beatrix with the Wind of Nature. His targets in this game is absolutely limited, so he's stuck doing weird things in the team fight. So maybe he has to go and do some kind of split push strategy, try and like take advantage of that assassin pick. But even then, can he 1v1 Max on that tank arena?
That is the question, but I'm sure at this point Max will definitely win on that trade. It seems like Sway Low here building Winter Truncheon. It feels like that Rebellion Zion is shifting their strategy here. It seems like they are going to heavily rely on Sicilian here and delaying this game, drag this game out to take it to what, 20 minutes plus.
Well, they can try and do that and just kite away, right? I'll try to outmaneuver Bigetron Alpha, but when there are important objectives like the Lord right now in play, Bigetron Alpha can use that, and now they are forcing Rebellion Zion to react, forcing them to come out from their hiding spots, right? Because if they don't, this is going to be a free Lord, and look at that, the traps, the bushes already being secured by Bigetron Alpha.
And the setup, look at the minion waves. Look at how they're actually able to clear up and set up for this objective take. 13 minutes in, he, with the help of Matt, is able to actually dish out Dyron's third HP bar there. But again, 3 HP bars. It's still a lot. He can soak in so much, and that's going to be the render shot. by Matt. He's holding it back. He's holding it for Fearless to come out of a bush. Lord taken down to half HP. Bigetron Alpha playing the slow game here. They do not need to force anything in this game. What they do need to do is just completely play with the setup. Force Rebellion out of their base, because look at this. There you go, the conceal play by Key as he jumps in onto Fearless, but is still able to dash away. Val going to be caught in there, but it's going to be the Lord. Perfectly timed. Bigetron. Wow, what a Lord take there. Presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A series.
Well coordinated strategy there coming from side of Bigetron, waiting for the right timing. That's a bluff there with the concealed play. And yeah, most of the members from side of Rebellion, Zion, most importantly Fearless, they have to retreat. And with that, Bigetron Alpha has secured the Lord that is now enhanced. With this push here and items, what do you think, Arashi?
I think Rebellion Zion is in a very good. They were in a good spot, but now the shoe's on the other foot, right? You can even see that Heist is forced to actually buy an Athena shield. So we're respecting the burst damage coming in from Max as well as Marino. And with the high ground advantage, right, there's a lot more zoning that Bigetron Alpha can do on the back of this Eve. The Sicilians can have a lot of damage, but even now, the fourth item is forced to be a Winter Truncheon just because of the threat. And if they can outrun all the slows, all the crop control, and more importantly, engage coming in from Key on the Atlas, they have no chance, man. And Bigetron makes the aggressive push.
Let's see, with the Lord coming into that mid lane, taking the base turret down. It is going to be Rebellion Zion forced onto their back foot. Key with the Fatal Link finds that pick on the Swalo, but a Winter Truncheon cancels it out. Val able to pin Key down, and that's going to be Bigetron Alpha all scrambled. Phantom execution to the back. Fearless dishing out the damage, but Matt with the Wind of Nature still surviving, but the Thunderclap comes in from Dairon to finish him off. Max on the run for his life as that's the Rebellion with the defense and the turn in this fight. High is still chasing him down with the DHS and the Golden Staff. Val trying to follow it up, but Max has that first ability, falling Star Moon onto Val, but there's no follow-up from any of the other BTR members. Rebellion stay in.
Rebellion stay in, and they almost wipe Bigetron out here. They are slowly catching up gold-wise here, and good defense. Well, practically they lost two base turrets here. One top side is very low, but of course Bigetron Alpha, but of course Rebellion Zion can take off that that pressure from side of Bigetron Alpha.
Well, that was a very effective attack from Key, right? He goes for the big play, the catch potential onto Swalo, one of the only high ground defense tools that Rebellion Zion has. But it gets outplayed by the Winter Truncheon, and once the main engagement was down, you saw everyone just pop their sprint, and Rebellion Zion were just completely online. Everyone just jumped in, and they were able to chase Bigetron away completely. So I think it all comes down to how well can Key engage. If Rebellion Zion can itemize, can position, can strategize against that engage, I think Bigetron Alpha is going to find it very, very difficult. And maybe they will resort to trying to go for some poke, right? Because they have the Beatrix and they have the Eve as well. They have options to play with. They just have to experiment with it a bit more, and they need to find a solution for that blazing duet. Because when Heist goes in, they are all forced to just retreat at high speeds, and even then, Heist will sprint right after them.
Nice one there, Arashi. But look at this, another nice one by Key. He's going in onto Val, taking that Athena shield proc away. So without the shield, he is going to be a little bit more vulnerable. Though, look at that top side. Both of these XP laners just clearing out the waves, cutting it there, so that both of their teammates will be able to actually do more on the map, opening it up a little bit more. But the thing is, Rebellion Zion, like you mentioned, Gani, the longer this game goes, the more stacks Swalo's gonna accumulate, and with those stacks, damage, man, that's gonna be a lot of damage in the late game.
Yeah, I mean, to add to that, don't you forget about Claude here with this Golden Staff as well as the HS. As you mentioned earlier, it's going to be a nuisance here in late game. Lord has been started by the side of Bigetron though.
This is so efficient, Arashi. BTR are playing it so efficiently. Look at how they're playing the match. They're just going onto the side lanes, avoiding every single fight. And I have to agree with what Bonchan said when he was describing Bigetron Alpha. This feels like a very Filipino style, objective heavy, no fights.
No fights at all. They came for the objectives, and they're using Solitaire to his maximum potential here. They're pulling multiple members of Rebellion away from the Lord fight, and so they're put in a very, very tough spot. And so far, no real answers, right? Because if they're just posting up aggressively, we already mentioned how Bigetron Alpha has the advantage when it comes to poke. Matt has a lot of damage with the Hepatitis as well, and there, Val goes for the engage.
Key pinned down there by Val, but look at the Fatal Link, able to connect onto Val there. Only Val, Immortal, gonna be there, but the Phantom Execution will find its mark. Max falls as well. That's Fearless picking up a double kill. Bigetron Alpha slow game, finally taken out. Moreno trying to supply Matt with the escape, but Matt gets dove under the turret. Dyron picks up a killing spree, and look at the top side, it's traded. There is a base turret traded in, and Val as well. But the thing is, Highs and Fearless, they can pick up the Lord for free. Evolved Lord in the 19th minute.
Wow, being patient here, Rebellion Zion finally. After minute number 18 here, Fearless is showing that he too can be aggressive in that landslide. Now, you can see here with this Lord evolved now, Mirko, Rebellion Zion, can they close out this game? The question still stands is Bigetron will defend this turret with 5 here shortly, but this Lord is evolved, so perhaps Rebellion might somehow, if Bigetron Alpha makes a mistake here, they can close this game out.
Yeah, there is high ground defense on the side of Bigetron Alpha for sure. There's the B-Tricks as well as the E. But, ooh, you can see that Rebellion Zion, they're not going to try and let Bigetron clear it. They constantly threaten to just try and engage and dive under the turret as the Lord gets taken out. And now, Bigetron, they're just stuck trying to defend against the empowered minions. But Rebellion Zion is content just clearing out the jungle of Bigetron Alpha. They are starting to establish quite a serious gold lead.
So much dive here for Rebellion Zion. This is why I kind of doubted Bigetron Alpha's pick when they went for the Beatrix Eve. Sure, Beatrix Eve, Prio Heroes, but when you're up, oh wait, Fearless. Oh, I thought he read it out there, but he was just using it to get more momentum, to get there faster. I thought for a second that he actually knew where Max was.
That would be crazy, yeah.
That would have been like a Selly Boy moment.
That would be crazy. But take a look at the items here, Arashi. A lot of Immortals already for both teams.
A lot of Immortals already, and the pilot armor from Dyron doesn't make things any easier for the side of Bigetron Alpha. Of course, on the side of Marino, he does have an Ice Queen's wand, but it's not enough, man. He has a triple step as well, just in case. And Val, with his his tanky build, goes for the engage there. It is outplayed though, essentially. So now we have to see. Key has no flicker for the next few minutes.
Oh, that hurts, man. That
hurts.
Almost just one-shot Highs.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the Heptases working his work.
Absolutely.
I guess. Another thing to add on, based on that item, what I like is, of course, Claude has sold his shoes and changes.
Shoeless man.
Shoeless man, and he opts for him Athena shield, so respecting the damage outcome from the side of a. Yeah, Max.
So it's BFC, the Barefoot Claw.
Barefoot, yeah. BFC indeed.
Well, he already has sprint, right? So, does he need the shoes, Arashi? Do you? Is it a good move?
I think he's been able to keep up with his team regardless, so it's pretty okay. I think, again, this comes down to who will engage, man, because if we saw this as being a bit of a pattern. Oh, okay, the opposing team is good at engaging. We'll make the engage on the engage tool. So he has been the focus of Rebellion Zion so far, and it's been working out, man. It's do something different.
Uh-oh, Chorizo there, going to be able to bait Dyron in, but that's going to be Dyron, the only one caught in that Fatal Links. Now Fearless trying to get Chorizo, but in the end, no members taken down. Meanwhile, down below, it's the Lord spawning in, as you can see from the Lord cam by Samsung. BTR looking to push out the waves, set up once again, even though Rebellion are in the lead.
Yeah, it seems like economy is not a non-factor here at this point. We are now entering the 22nd minute of the game, and it seems like that Fearless and Sicilian here, swaying low, has positioned themselves well for the past 8 minutes. And man, Bigetron Alpha, excuse my tongue twist there, but Lord is up here. And I guess Rebellion and Bigetron Alpha, they are now trying somehow find the mistake from each other.
Well, if Bigetron wants to try and capitalize on the combos, on the team fight, and they want to win, they need to try and bring in Chorizo into these fights, man, because yeah, Dyron has a lot more pressure in 1v1, and the Esmeralda can be a big threat to the dive of Rebellion Zion, but on the other side though, you see that Rebellion, they're setting up a trap, man. They sent 2 members on the top side just in case Chorizo is feeling a bit frisky. And now, Bigetron Alpha, they're always reacting to the aggressive plays of Rebellion Zion. I think they have to try and switch it up a bit and try and do something unpredictable, because that is where I think they will catch Rebellion Zion out of position and by surprise.
Oh, what that is? There's gonna be Chorizo chunk low, but wait, out of nowhere, how did Highs? Wait,
is that a one shot?
Blasted.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
3v1.
Key flickered. So was it Key who actually jumped in to support Matt to actually enable him to one-shot Highs, or Did Matt just do it with a sniper shot?
Yeah, we'll have to see. It was off camera here, but now Bigetron Alpha, they are a man up. With this Lord here, they can definitely take this Lord. No, but Val and Fearless, they are not giving this for free.
Yeah, without highs in the picture, there's no real threat towards the back line. So now Matt and Moreno, they can just play with a lot more comfort as Key with the Radiant Armor. He will be able to actually stay in the front and withstand the bulk of that damage. They need to try and make something happen now though, because Highs is only going to be down for another 16 minutes. They pull the trigger on Dyron.
Oh, good targeting here, bringing Dyron back to the team, and look at Val with a disengage, and Matt gets turned on. He's forced to use the flicker defensively, as that's going to be actually the winner. Truncheon bought by Dyron. The Furious Bastion by Matt, but it's all Moreno who gets the damage done. Rebellion on the back foot, sway low, take it low, as that's going to be Key who jumps in once again. So Rizzo soaking in a lot of damage in, but in the 24th minute, only one man falls in the Rebellion Zion comp. It's still BTR, not with the lead, surprisingly. They're still behind in terms of goal, but like you mentioned, Gani, it doesn't matter anymore. We're in the 24th minute of the game. The items are all built.
Exactly, and now with this, they are a man up here, but is this going to be enough? Key here with the perfect match, trying to find the target, just trying to harass Val here, who is continuously giving information.
Uh-oh, real world manipulation on the sway low, taking a whole lot of HP. Rizzo gets the falling star move to immobilize him. He's here to seal the deal. That's the winner. Truncheon and Val providing excellent support. Look at Fearless zoned away from the Lord. Rizzo versus the world. That's the Max securing the evolved Lord. Rizzo 1v4 winning it here as he picks up a kill on the sway low, immobilizing Val. But Matt, he only cares about the base. Fearless trying to defend, but Key is here to seal the deal once again. Game number 1 secured in a comeback fashion for BTR.